Right, hello Year 6, Science, Mr. Robertson talking to you, and it's a bit more relaxed this week. There's no new information as such to learn. Instead, I'm going to tell you about what your project is going to be in biology. We'll do some labs and we'll do some other things in class, but you're going to do a group project firstly. And we're going to start this off next week. You will be in groups of 4 people, and I will pick the groups. And in those groups, your main thing, this is a ecosystem research project. So it could be a different variety of habitats. One group may have deserts, one may have mountains, one may have the sea, for example. And in your groups of 4 people, you will do some research. And the conclusion from that is you're going to make, via Google Docs, a presentation. And the aim eventually is that you will do that presentation in front of the entire class and you'll all get a chance to speak about that. In total, we are going to assess 6 criteria. 6 of those Kunskapskrav we are going to look at. So 6 chances for you to get an A. Let's see how we can get them. Let's look at some of the tips. I'm going to get a rubber. I have a rubber now. How lucky am I? Woo. So I have these 2 bits of paper here, all on ecosystem group project. If you are really clever, you might find these on Schoolsoft already. They are located on the assessment page itself for the group project. So go and have a look. They are in there. So what do I need to do? What is this presentation going to be about? Well, firstly, you need to assess the living and non-living things in that ecosystem. You will need to find out what things are unique about it, what things make it special, what make it an easy or a hard place to live, and describe them, and remember to explain why. Looking at these criteria, they're on this sheet here, and that final column here, these are the A criteria for those A grades, and they need students to explain, tell me why things are, use general characteristics, link things back to our basic things in biology like photosynthesis maybe, or respiration, or what life actually is, or why we need certain things to live. Could be some of those ideas there. It's all on there, and we'll spend some time in class going through them, but those criteria, they'll help you out a lot. We also, if we have this kind of factor of our ecosystem, I also want to look at being able to produce a food web. A realistic food web for the ecosystem that you've chosen, and as well as that, be able for 2 animals say how it's adapted, how the animal is different because of the environment and living and non-living conditions in the ecosystem it lives in. Basically, this sheet here has a whole list of questions. If your group can make sure to answer each one of them, then you should be looking to the top grades, because they ask you to explain why each time. One thing, if you do look at the sheet early, that might worry you. I mentioned a few new words to you. Decomposer, parasitic, mutualistic, and symbiotic. Now, I'm not going to worry about explaining them now. I will spend time in class, but if you want to have a look at them early, please feel free to do so. Decomposer, parasitic, mutualistic, and symbiotic. You will hear more about them, and it's something we would expect you to talk about in your presentations for the higher grades. That's the ecosystem. But in ecology, it's also super important for us to think about the human impact. How the humans have actually affected, changed the environment that we're in. What resources do we use? What maybe minerals or plants do we take from this ecosystem? Do we hunt animals perhaps? Why are they important? Why are those things needed for humans to live as successfully as they are? We realise we are the top species on the planet. We realise we cover every single part of the globe if we want to. Why are all the parts of the world so important for making our lives the best possible? Think about as well, in this, the negative sides. This is not all positive. Humans are having a very bad impact on the world in many places. Think about what damage the humans do. Will anything run out? Will we stop having things? Will things become extinct? Will we kill all the animals or plants in an area if we're not careful? Discuss it and make sure to really deepen and broaden the discussions. Take your ideas to the next level. It's not just good if you're trying to get those top grades. I'm looking at this one right here now, for you just to see what's on a website and take information and read it out about what humans are doing. You need to really take that to the next level. You need to understand how it's having a bigger impact, how we need to be more responsible, how there can be positive or negative consequences, how things can become better or worse. You need to take that step to the next level. You need to deepen the discussion or broaden it, bring in more knowledge to get those top grades. Equally, your PowerPoint itself should not be every single word you say on the board. You need to adapt your text correctly. Take the bits of information that are important, you want to make focus of, and put them on the wall. Note, I don't write every word on the wall, only those that are important. It does matter. And you need to have good adaptation, that's a School of Etiquette phrase, of your text to the content. You need to make sure you take the massive information on the internet and use the bits that are useful. Finally, you need to include your sources of information. The sources of information are the things like your websites or your books or anything like that. They are the things that you look for research. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. You need to be able to explain why you chose information from that certain source, why your website was the best it possibly could be. For this, can we look at with one source, so just one, I am going to ask you to write and explain why you use it. Explain why you use it for one source of information, so that it's actually possible for me to see that it is reliable and trustworthy. That you trust where the information comes from. It's not just important for me to know it's reliable information, but for you to understand why. That's the kill. I mean the skill, not the kill, the skill. And that is a lot of information. It's a 4-person project. I'm going to spend a lot of class time on it. I'm going to spend time going through these criteria again and again in class, so you can get the best grade you can.